Hi, book friends. Welcome to OMG Look at Her Books. My name is Gina, and I like posting all things book related, such as book hauls, book reviews, and book unboxings. So if that sounds like something that you'd enjoy, I'd love to have you subscribe. Don't forget to like, share the video, and leave a comment for me down below. I actually have a very special video planned for you guys today. This has been a long time coming. I have been wanting to do this even prior to starting my YouTube channel. I had two special guests, two ladies joining me later today, and we are going to be reviewing a book that we read together. These are two of my book friends, so I'm so excited to be talking about today's book with them. We're going to be reviewing What the River Knows by Isabel Ibañez. I really enjoyed this. It was the Barnes & Noble Young Adult Book Club pick, very fast paced, and I had a great time reading it, so I cannot wait to discuss it with my two book friends later on. So let's get right into the video. Hi, book friends. So as you guys know, I'm Gina from OMG Look at Her Books. I'm so excited for today's video. I have some special guests with me today, and they're going to introduce themselves.
I am Cynthia from Sin's Workshop. I don't want to brag, but I am the reason she started her channel.
She is. She's to blame.
And I'm Izzy from Instagram at Izzy Marie Reads.
All right, so super excited. We are going to be talking about What the River Knows. This was the Young Adult Book Club pick for November at Barnes & Noble, and it was perfect. It was The Mummy meets Death in the Nile.
So I absolutely think that this book could give Indiana Jones a run for its money, a classic, and of course I love the enemies to lovers romance in it. That was my favorite part.
And the male love interest was so lovable. He was funny, and I just think it was a perfect story. It was really great to read.
So can't wait to talk about it.
Ooh.
So now that we have a little bit of an overview about the book, we're going to talk about the review. So if you have not read this book yet, save this video for later. Don't watch it because there will be spoilers. Just a heads up, repeat, there will be spoilers coming up.
Yes. First spoiler is Inez drove me absolutely nuts. I liked her, and then it's not that I didn't like her. She annoyed the crap out of me. She annoyed the crap out of me.
It was her quick and irrational decisions.
She didn't think before she did any little thing, and it was the most frustrating thing in the world because there were so many problems in the book that could have been resolved and avoided if she had just sat down and listened to what people were telling her.
That she just had to cause issues.
She was just annoying.
Hopefully we'll have some character growth in book 2 with her.
Because it is a duology, so we might get to see
fingers crossed,
a different side of her.
She learned from her mistakes a little bit.
I'm hoping, especially after that ending, she better learn from her mistakes because it was not cool. That part was not cool. I won't spoil that part, but it wasn't cool. I was not copacetic with it because, again, it could have been avoided if she had just
thought a little bit.
About the consequences.
She could have prevented a lot of heartache. She could have prevented the big thing that happened at the end.
I think as the story went on, she started thinking less.
Yeah, became more rash.
They were
she was dealing with a loved one, so I guess I can see it, but I see where you're coming from.
It was just she was nuts. I hate to say that. She was just nuts. I was just so frustrated her from the so at the beginning I felt, a connection with her. I was just like, oh, she really just wants to see her parents, and then she finds out that they're dead. So of course I can understand leaving to go solve their disappearance, which it would have made better sense if it was a murder, if they were suspected of being murdered versus disappearing in the desert, because I'm just like, well, people disappear in the desert all the time.
Which it did become later on that we thought it was a murder, but that wasn't until later on in the story.
It was halfway through.
I think though her character, Wit made up for it.
That's what I mean? My favorite character.
He was so lovable, even from the beginning. You could tell he was trying to be a bad guy.
The second he walked into the story, I was like, I love him.
He was the saving grace. I wish he
was funny. The banter between him and Inez.
It was
so good.
It was definitely an enemies to lovers because he hated her from the beginning, but at the same time he couldn't help himself. That was obvious too. I love the romance part.
And then she was always throwing herself at him.
Yes.
That was just kind of...
My ego hurt for her.
It was just desperate, though. He's just like, no. And she's like, I see the way you're looking at me. And
yeah, that one line that she kept saying, I was like, ooh. I was like,
please stop. Stop talking.
But then her hype girl, her friend, she kept saying, I see the way he looks at you.
Well, see, that's okay.
That's true.
I was okay with because it didn't sound so desperate. It's just like, I see the way you look at me. It's just like, okay.
Yeah, I think it's just the fact that she told it to his face.
And repeatedly.
Yeah, like I
It
think
was
3 times she might have said it.
yeah. Hence the desperate comment that I keep saying.
But it was after, I
mean,
believe
I'm not
she
really
said
one
it
to talk,
after he
but,
still
you know.
told her that he was betrothed too. So
That's
that was
true,
the.
That's true. Well,
But
we'll
I
have more
still love
character
them.
growth in book 2.
I still love them.
I mean, yes, they had really good character dynamics, really good chemistry. I'll say that. I did like their banter. I did like their friendship.
That's
too.
true. And
They
he
had
said that
a-
we're friends.
I did appreciate that the author focused a lot on their friendship and that he wouldn't let that go.
Or we're just
and
jumping in.
I think that's what makes Wit a little bit more lovable because it's just like I'm in a tight spot, but I still want us to be friends.
And he kept her secret. Remember, like multiple times. Oh, please don't tell my uncle. All right, I'll do it for you.
Yeah.
He
He
kept her
respects
secret.
her. He
Yes.
respects her.
That's true. I did like
And
that.
I think that's why we love Wit so much.
That's true. I liked her side characters too that she wrote about. I really liked the friendship that she.
I liked
Is
the
it
entire
Dora?
little like crew they had. I loved them all. They were
Abdullah, Isadora.
Isadora. I think Isadora is my
Isadora.
favorite on the crew besides Wit.
Okay. Even the
Oh.
uncle grew on me.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name, but
Gio Ricardo, that was the uncle, right?
Yes.
yes, that's
He-
Ricardo.
He really grew on me.
But I like that one minor character who's just like, yeah, I'll sneak you up on the boat.
Oh, the little chef
the little
boy.
chef.
I think his name
yes.
starts with a K.
I don't know.
Kareem.
Kareem?
I think it's
Kareem. I think
Kareem.
it's Kareem.
He
Oh,
was
that's
great. And
right.
he-
I got a bug for you. Oh, we'll keep it a surprise.
And I
That's
love how
right.
she was like, I'm trying to
the
surprise my
side
uncle.
characters. I like the side characters more
Yeah.
than I like the main character.
Clearly
I mean, she just
irritated you.
half the time I was reading it, I was just like, "Are you kidding me right now?" I'm like, "Really? Like you have no money. You're in a foreign land. Like it makes total sense that your uncle wants to send you home because he's working on an excavation site. No, he can't take care of you. You have no experience. What are you doing?"
Became more of a
here?"
liability. It's funny because I really, really liked her at the beginning, and then it just got worse and worse.
worse.
That final decision before that that finale. That's I did it.
Yeah.
I get it. I see it.
Yeah.
I
I think it was in the last like 100 pages that she was like driving me insane.
Oh my god, those last 100 pages were the worst. She was at her worst there.
Did you guys see the plot twist coming? So they portray the uncle as being the bad guy. He's the bad guy. He's the reason why her parents, are dead and they were missing. And towards the end, I started to see, okay, maybe he's not the villain. Then as soon as her mother showed up, from the dead, I was like,
for
okay.
me, it was just like the moment that letter popped up in her room,
You
I
said
was
that.
like, this seems like way too obvious of a red
I
herring.
didn't catch that.
And I'm
You
just
did
like,
too?
I thought it was pretty like
Convenient.
early. It was kind of early on and really
Okay.
convenient.
I missed it completely. I didn't think
Yeah.
anything of it.
I was just like, I'm like, so it felt to me that someone was setting up.
I just figured that one of the parents was gonna be evil. Like as soon as
In
she went to
fact-
go like search for them.
At first, I didn't even think the letter was written by her mother. I thought
Oh.
someone was just framing the uncle, just to frame him, especially
Okay.
after that conversation with the guys at the dinner.
Okay.
Because that happened after the dinner scene with the
Okay.
Frenchman
I could
and the
see
British
that.
man.
They kept portraying the uncle as being evil because he even he blew up at her at one point, and I was like, oh,
To be
he's bad.
fair.
But he did go back and
Yeah.
apologize, so I did feel better
As soon
about
as he
that.
apologized, I was like, I don't think he's the villain.
To me, every time he blew up at her, I thought it was completely warranted. I
She
I
deserved to
did.
be yelled
I'm
at.
like, you're not thinking straight.
I
So
think
of
I was
course
just
he's
so
yelling
focused
at
on
you.
making him the villain. I think that's what it was. But then as soon as the mom showed up, don't tell anybody. Then I started getting
I was like,
suspicious.
yeah.
She was suspicious from the
That's what
beginning.
threw me,
I
yeah.
was just like,
The fact that she
I
was
don't
just in her
trust you.
tent and she was just like,
Don't
no,
tell
don't tell anyone.
Yes.
And then
I was still shocked though when her mother left her on the boat. I was like, oh, she just left her. I was still shocked by it.
her mother is a shitty person.
Yeah.
Her
I really
mother
hope
is-
she gets revenge on her in the next book.
I hope she gets hers.
Yeah.
Like, because
Because she double crossed even them.
She's the reason that Avira, her name, is dead too.
Oh yeah, her cousin. That
Mhm.
broke me. That part. That was unnecessary.
so
okay.
unnecessary.
It was a really.
Couldn't she have just been grazed by a bullet? That was so
Like,
violent.
Okay, I had to
Almost
actually
near
reread
death.
that part. I'm like,
Is she-
unrecognizable face. I'm just like, did it just like go through her mouth? And I'm like, oh no, she's dead.
She's dead. Yeah. Yeah.
I
think
like,
it was
she's
her head,
dead.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, that's terrible.
It was brutal. That was
It
brutal.
was unnecessary. And again,
Agreed.
it could have been avoided if Inez had just listened to what everyone was saying.
And even though, of course, Liam. Oh my gosh, wrong book. That's fourth Wing. He was trying to help me out. What's the guy's name in this book?
Which one,
Wit?
Wit. Thank you. I'm on
Liam.
fourth Wing still. So Wit even tried to make her feel better, and he was like, "Oh, it's okay. It's not your fault. yes, it was
It
your
was
fault.
totally 100%
It was your
her
fault.
fault.
I get it, you're trying to make her feel better, but that
Because
just
she was
shows,
trying
you
to go
know.
off to like the warehouses where they to
Yes.
go find her
Yes,
cousin.
and he said to wait.
He said,
I will go
"Wait."
after her.
He's like, I will do this. Yeah.
She doesn't know the lands.
The guy
She doesn't
who
know
has
these people.
military training.
Oh,
Exactly.
she knows.
I will go get her.
She knows. This is like the bodyguard.
If she would have gone with Wit, it probably would have been fine. She
No.
doesn't know anything about this land. She literally came like
Right.
4 days ago. How is
Right.
she expected
She
to?
knows nothing, which
But-
is why I
yeah.
get why her uncle wanted to send her back home.
Yes, but then again, we're like putting him on a pedestal, Wit. But that ending, that last part,
Oh
has
my
a-
goodness.
Something really
The
suspicious
epilogue,
about the ending.
I gasped.
Like,
I did not.
I didn't even realize who. I was so confused. Like,
Okay,
who was
so
he
when
writing?
he was sending the telegram, I thought he was just gonna, write his family, say,
Right.
"Hey, I'm coming home. Hey, I don't want to be betrothed." I thought it was gonna be
The
like
problem
something
with
like
the
good.
ending is it's too confusing because he only mentions his brother
Once.
once
I
throughout
had to
the
look it up.
entire
I couldn't
book.
even remember.
I had to Google it, and Show did see. I'm like, who the heck is Porter?
I was like, what does
It
this
was like
mean?
remember.
such a flippant comment that the author puts in the book early on. And yes, she does say his name, but again, one time in the span of the entire
I
book.
think it was
Right.
towards the beginning too.
Yeah, I would have rather she mentioned more familial issues
Right,
throughout
right.
the story.
Right,
So
then you
that
can-
way.
it was more of a shock, and you were like,
Yeah.
"Oh my gosh!" Yeah.
Whereas at the end, I was just confused. I was like, who's
And the
Porter?
telegram said Inez fell for
She
it.
fell for it. So theories.
So-
what did she fall
oh
for?
my-
What are we thinking? Theories.
I think your theory's right.
Yeah.
That they're broke.
Yep,
And
and
they
he
need
needs
the
to
money.
marry
The money-
for money,
yeah,
and then
I
he
think
found
it's the
out
money
she's
theory.
wealthy, and because he's a lord, and he's supposed to be wealthy, but maybe they fell into
Yeah.
hard times, and needs to find someone for
And that
money.
might be why he's betrothed as well.
I wanted
Right.
to know more about the sister though too when it comes to him because I feel
Yes.
like that might have something to do
Oh,
with
I
it.
have the
Because he does mention a comment like she won't talk to me. Like, okay, who's this? She?
I have
Your
the
betrothed
Alcrate
or your
edition.
sister?
in the back of the Alcrate edition. There is a series, I think, of like 10 letters between him and his sister.
Okay.
Oh,
So
okay.
they're like
Because
fun to read.
he doesn't give us much about them. Well, he doesn't give us much about
Or little
himself at all.
telegrams.
I
I
know.
mean,
It's like pulling teeth. I mean, that's what most guys anyway. He's trying to get the
But-
information out of them.
He does mention a she, and I'm like, who is this she? Is this she his betrothed who he
I
doesn't
wanna
seem
know
to,
more
like,
about
care
that.
about?
And is it real? That's what I want to know.
Right.
I think it was just mentioned like once or twice.
I thought it was just an excuse at first. Like he was just saying that to
See,
like protect her from
I
himself.
think that's another thing, another
That could
issue I
be
had
it.
with the storytelling, that she just kind of mentions things once or twice throughout the entire narrative,
Right.
and then it's supposed to have some big impact later on. It's just like,
So I'm
but
hoping
we're
like
gonna forget.
I'm hoping those loose
'cause
ends
there
get tied
are
up.
Get tied
in
up.
a whole
mythology.
lot
Oh,
of other things
Oh,
happening.
and the other big thing, the father. Okay, I think he's alive.
Oh, he
For
definitely.
sure.
Don't
he's
stop
definitely
looking
alive.
for me. I mean,
He's definitely
is
alive.
Totally alive.
and it sounds like we like the dad. He's likable.
I think I like the dad. In fact, even from the beginning, I felt like she had a stronger relationship with her
father.
Right, he sent
than
her the
mother.
ring.
He sent her the ring. He's the one who taught her hieroglyphics, words.
She's
doesn't
his
matter.
mini-me, kind of, sort of. You know.
Right. So I think she has a strong relationship with the father.
Definitely.
So
I think he was the
Not
one
so
who
much
like
the
sent
mom.
the bulk of the telegrams anyway. Like
Yeah.
weren't they like
Yes.
mostly
And
from
he sent
her
her
father?
the ring. He trusted her above everybody. You know, I could see that. Okay.
I want her to get the
Overall
ring back.
thoughts. We're gonna talk about overall thoughts. So overall, what do you think of the book?
I really enjoyed it. I thought it was very easy to read it. So like I wasn't like struggling to keep turning the pages. I was focused and really into it. So I really liked it.
I thought it was very fast paced. I think
Yes.
that's what I
It
really
was.
loved about
I
it.
like
just
fast paced
was
books.
like, even from the very beginning, as soon as she took off after meeting Widow, I was like, oh, look
it
at you
did
go.
move really fast.
It really did. I agree. You two overall?
I
Yeah.
would give it 3 out of 5 stars. To be
Okay.
honest,
I gave it 4 stars.
I gave it 4 because I'm a romance girl and I
Me too.
love
and I
romance
love the
books.
banter.
I
Yeah.
couldn't get over that. I really couldn't.
I feel like that's for you. I feel like this is like a reoccurring thing. Like if she doesn't like the main character, then it like because wasn't that happen with the
Okay,
that happened with the
with
past pick too.
With the other book, that whole thing was just stupid. She was the first who would die in a horror movie in that book.
Yes. Yes.
That's neither here nor there.
But overall, I would recommend this book.
I would read the
Yes.
second
Yes.
book, and I would recommend it, especially if you like high stakes, historical fiction. If you love The Mummy because it has strong mummy vibes. and
Mummy,
It
Death
does.
Death on the Nile, Indiana
I
Jones.
love
I gotta
Death
say the
on the
setting I
Nile.
think was one of my favorite
It
parts.
reminded me
in
of
this.
Indiana Jones even a little
Yeah.
bit with
I
like the
love
tombs, you know.
the setting, and I don't
The
think I've
setting
read
was
a lot
great.
of stories that take place
It was
in
different.
Egypt.
I think
so
it was the
different.
first story I read
And you know
that
what?
takes place in
The
Egypt.
side characters were amazing. I love when
Yes.
the author devotes a lot
Yes.
of time to building up their side characters.
Yes.
So that was redeeming for me.
Okay.
But still just 3 stars.
hopefully get a little more closure in the next book, and
I need better
hopefully we
character
get more
development.
time on the Nile.
I want more about the Nile.
You
I
had
was
said that.
just gonna say
I
that.
mean, literally the book
I mean,
title, What
right?
the River knows.
So what
and
about
it's
the river?
mentioned
I think all they did was
by
take
her
the
mother.
boat. They also just took the boat on the
Well,
Nile.
they took
That's
the
it.
boat. They had some trouble. She fell in. But then they also mentioned, the Nile has seen everything and knows so
Yeah.
much in one part.
I want to know, like,
the
I
mom. She
Yeah.
said that one time, and so what
maybe
does the
we'll
river
see
know?
more. Maybe we'll see more development.
Hopefully. I'm keeping
so
my
I'm
fingers
excited
crossed.
for the duology. Does anyone know when it comes out?
Probably in a year.
We'll have to look that up. I guess. Probably in a year.
Probably in a year.
I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I had so much fun filming it with two of my bookish friends. I really had a great time. So I would love it if you would let me know down in the comments below. Did you like this kind of video? Would you like to see more of these videos? Maybe I can review them one-on-one with some of my other bookish friends. So let me know what you guys think, because I would love to film more of these in the future. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Hope you enjoyed this special video with my special guest today. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and let me know down in the comments below if you've read this, if you're thinking about reading this on your TBR maybe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!